Hi guys and welcome back. Today I have a fabulous little crochet project for you. These super cute crochet sleeves. And here is my absolutely beautiful friend Emma modeling them for you to show you just how great they look with just a casual pair of jeans and a crop top. They truly add that finishing touch to the whole outfit. I think they would also be great with a sleeveless dress if you wanted to cover your arms or have it as part of the dress design itself. This pattern is a very quick and a very easy one and definitely a beginner friendly. I only used 150 grams of yarn in total for this whole project, and you can make it in any colour you like or even multicolour to use up any leftover yarn. In this video, I will take you through step by step how to measure and make these sleeves just for you. And once you see how quick they are to make, you'll soon be making them for your friends. So grab a cuppa and some yarn, a crochet hook, get comfy and let's get started. So for this project, I am using Demora's Studio anti-pilling DK 100 grams in the colour, I think it's called powder. I will leave a link in the description below, but if you do order it from the same place, there is they do slightly different shades of powder, and this one is dye lot 70019. So if you do like this colour, be sure to put the dye lot number in there. And I'm using a 4.5mm crochet hook. Okay, so a bit of a guideline on how I measured up to make this is I took a measurement from straight across the back. So if you can get someone else to help you, that's always good. If not, just go in front of your chest. So take a measurement from your wrist to your wrist, and this is the length that we're going to make our foundation chain. So to start, we make our slip knot any way you prefer, and the foundation chain is going to be in multiples of 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and continue until you have got the length that you measured from wrist to wrist, which for the one I made was a 220 chains, which was 52 inches long. For now, I'm just making a swatch for this tutorial. I've done a chain of 48 just to show you the pattern stitch. So when you've made your chain to the length that you want it, then you plus 6 more chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there is your foundation chain. So for row 1, we are going to double crochet into the 4th chain from the hook. Let's bring the camera in slightly. So I'll just yarn over and count 1, 2, 3, 4, and make a double crochet in there. then chain 2, and then double crochet into the same stitch. So we have made, this is our turning chain, which does count as a stitch, and a V-stitch. So now we chain 1, and we are going to skip 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, and double crochet, double crochet into the 4th. So skip 3 stitches, double crochet into the next, chain 2, and double crochet into that same stitch, creating a V-stitch. Then chain 1. Excuse my croaky voice, I'm just recovering from a cold, but I thought I would crack on and make this video anyway. So we skip 3 chains, so that's the one you've just worked into. There's your next one, next one, next one. Double crochet into the 4th. So yarn over, a double crochet into there. Chain 2, double crochet into that very same stitch, and then chain 1. Then skip 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, and double crochet into the next. Chain 2, and double crochet into that same stitch there, then chain 1. So this is your repeat along the row. So skip 3 stitches, that's 1, 2, 3, double crochet into the next, then chain 2, and double crochet into that same stitch, creating a V-stitch. Then chain 1. So repeat all the way along, and I will meet you when we come towards the end of this row 1. So it's skip 3 chains, double crochet into the next, chain 2, double crochet into that same stitch, chain 1, and repeat that till the end of the row. So here we are coming up to the end of the row. So we skip 3 and double crochet into the 4th, chain 2, double crochet into that same stitch, chain 1, and then for the very end, and this is how you end each of the rows, is we just pop a double crochet into that last stitch there, there we go, that's row 1. So for row 2, which will be your 1 row repeat, very simple pattern this is. So we are going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and turn your work, and then quite simply we're going to make a V-stitch in the V-stitch from the row below. So yarn over, put your hook into the space of the V-stitch there, pull up a loop and make your double crochet, chain 2, and then to finish the V-stitch, double crochet into that same V that you've just done your first double crochet in there. Okay, then chain 1 and V-stitch straight into the next one, the next V from the row below, make a double crochet, chain 2, and then double crochet into that same space, and chain 1. I'll just show you one more time there. So double crochet into that next V space there, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet to complete your V-stitch, and then chain 1, and continue on putting your V-stitches into the V-stitch from the row below, and always remember in between each V-stitch to chain 1. There we go. So continue all the way along your row until you've completed your last V-stitch, and I'll show you how to finish the row. Okay, so we're coming up to the end of row 2, and we put in a V-stitch into the V-stitch below here. We're going to put in another V-stitch in here, so I've chained 1, so put in another V-stitch here, then chain 1, and here you'll see you've got your chain 4 space here. So to end the row, put in a double crochet, put it straight in the gap there, straight through in the space of the chain 4 to finish the row. Ooh, there we go. So that is your 1 row repeat. So you would chain 4, turn your work, and you can see straight away putting in a V-stitch here. And chain 1, and a V-stitch in the next, V-stitch from the row below, and of course chain 1 in between each V-stitch. Sorry, I'll keep going off camera there. I'll just show you again. So yarn over, put in your V-stitch here, which is a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet into that same space, then chain 1, creating your V-stitch. So that is your 1 row repeat. So carry on crocheting, repeating row 2 for 26 rows. So this is what you should have after 26 rows, is a nice long and narrow rectangle, just like that. Now what we need to do is fold the whole thing in half lengthways. Put a stitch marker in one end, and a stitch marker in the other end here, holding the two ends together. So as with any shrug style garment, this middle bit will be going around the back, and we need to sew the sleeve section together. And I'll just show you how I did the measurement for that. So the next measurement we want to take is, here's where the wrist, opening for the wrist will be, and we want to know how far up the sleeve you need to sew to close the sleeve. So I'll just bring in my picture here, is take a measurement from your wrist to under the arm, and in the case of the pattern that I've made was actually 16 inches. So if I measure up from the wrist all the way up here by 16 inches, So I'll just grab my tape measure and show you. Measure, there's your 16 inches. And I'll pop a stitch marker in both sides, through both sides, holding it together. And then scoot this along and measure again 16 inches on the other side, and to there. Pop in a stitch marker through both sides to hold it together, and here you have your opening. And that goes around your back, and you're going to put your arms through here like a short cardigan. But first of all, obviously, we need to sew these ends together here. And you can use whatever method you prefer, but I'm going to use a slip stitch, nice and simply along there. So to slip stitch, attach your yarn to the, we're working with this inside out, so attach your yarn to the corner of your, where the cuff is for your hand, and pull the yarn through. I just tie with a knot, and so for a slip stitch, find the very corner of the other side, put your hook in there, and then put your hook in where you've attached the yarn, and with your hook grab the yarn and pull it through one side and then straight through the other side, and then put your hook into the next stitch on this side and find the corresponding stitch on the other side. Put your hook through, grab your yarn and pull all the way through and then through. The lovely simple stitch, straight into the next stitch, find the corresponding stitch on the other side, grab your yarn, pull it through all the way and then through the loop, and it will begin to attach the two sides together. So I'll just show you a couple more times. Put your hook through the next stitch on this side, and then the corresponding stitch on the opposite side. Grab your yarn with your hook, pull it through, and then pull through the loop. There we go, and keep going all the way up the sleeve, and keep doing that all the way up until you reach your stitch marker. Okay, so we have slip stitched all the way up to the stitch marker. And to finish off, just yarn over, put up a little bit of wool there, and snip off the end and pull that through, and then snug it down nice and tight. And now you've done that, go ahead and slip stitch the other side, starting at the cuff, slip stitch, add some more, another piece of yarn here, and slip stitch all the way up to your stitch marker 16 inches along. Just wanted to quickly mention, when you've sewn the slip stitch and sewn the two pieces of the sleeve together, this bit here is going to sit just underneath your arm, and it's probably going to get the most pull on it while you're wearing it, if you know what I mean. So when you're sewing in the ends for this specific particular part of the garment that's going to get the most wear, just make sure you go through and let me see if I can do this with a short piece. Just make sure that you've sewn through that same stitch a few times, not just the once, just to make, and then at the end do maybe a double or a triple knot and make it so that it's really nice and secure, this end and on this one too. As you can see, I've gone through it a few times and tied it nice and secure, because that's going to get the most pull as it's being worn. But as for the garment itself, that is really all there is to do to make this. It's a very simple piece. Obviously you want to go around now and sew in all your ends and make it nice and tidy. But basically that's your, let me bring the camera out slightly there, bring the camera out. So what we'll do now is turn this the right way, so that seam kind of disappears, certainly slightly there, and then turn this sleeve inside out, and that's basically you're done. Nice and simple and easy and quick to make. And there you go. Your hands go in, arms go in there. And this bit goes around the back. And there's your sleeves. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please let me know any questions in the comments section below, and until next time, take care.